quite delighted to be here because this is a very special occasion. And I would like to, of course, thank the President of ICAN, our very own Alaji Yayola, if you forgive my Kwara Parako also. May I also acknowledge and thank the conference chairman and the panelists who will be leading us in the discussion today, the very first panel, and also to welcome and thank all of you for being here for this very important occasion, the 48th Annual Accountants Conference, titled Securing Our Shared Future, Our Collective Responsibility. It's impossible for any individual or group of people to address the challenges of a country and certainly the challenges of building the nation and building the economy. Now, coming to accountants. Somehow, some people think accountants should be about micro aspects of the economy, how to manage the books. But there can be no microeconomy without a macroeconomy. It has to be in the context of what it is that we're about to do. How is wealth created, by whom, and how is it managed, and for whom? And that is why I think it is very important that we listen very carefully, very attentively to what the lead presenter is going to say today, and also the discussant. Because it is very true that we have to move away from obsession with sharing the national cake. We have to move to how to produce wealth, or to put it more simply, how to increase the national cake rather than how to share it. Also, we have to look at the role of chartered accountants beyond even the private sector, because there can be no private sector without a public sector. And accountants have responsibilities not only to the private sector, but also they have a public interest mandate. My job as chairman is not to give you another lecture. Rather, we have the experts. And I'm going to shortly be calling on the lead presenter, Ms. Rachel Grimes, who is IFAC president. A lady of substance, many decades of experience, which is going to share with us, particularly because in many ways we live in a global village, and we have to be constantly reminded that much as we Nigerians think we are the world, we are not. We are not even the center of the world, we are part of the world. Also, the global economy is changing, and therefore we have to respond appropriately to the changing dynamics of production, of exchange, of services. I'm also delighted to be sharing the podium today with the other discussant, Mr. Kunle Elebute, FCA, who is the National Senior Partner and Chairman of KPMG in Africa. I think between them, we are going to have a very good start to this 48th annual conference, and to set the pace and to point the way, so that at the end of this conference, we will not just be sharing experiences, sharing ideas, but really contributing to moving the accountancy profession forward, moving the national economy forward, and contributing positively to the global economy. So with these few remarks, you are very welcome, and I will now call on the lead presenter, Ms. Rachel Grimes, to lead the discussion. Over to you.
ICAN President, member of ICAN Presidency, past presidents of ICAN, members of the ICAN Governing Council, to my fellow board member, to my fellow IFAC board member, the General, fellows and associates of ICAN, my fellow panellists, ladies and gentlemen, I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you today. For those of you who don't know, my IFAC role is voluntary. My day-to-day role is that of the CFO of Technology, Transformation and Operations at Westpac, Australia's oldest company. We turned 201 years of age in April this year. We are the second largest bank and at the moment the third largest company by capital. So in this role I feel that there's a fabulous intersection of what I do on a day-to-day basis as my IFAC presidency role and my day-to-day role. And it's been a privilege to represent the 3 million accountants around the world, and I believe that 5,000 of them are in this room, so I'm thrilled to be able to see so many of you all at once. Thank you. But I do believe it is a unique position, as the intersection of technology-led transformation taking place in business and society. With this in mind, the global and the local, I'm very excited to explore the theme today of securing our shared future, a collective responsibility. The theme underscores two very important points. Accountants have great skills to positively influence the future, and we can't secure the future alone. We must seek out and work with others who share our commitment to the public interest and a stronger global economy and society. In my time with you today, I want to share IFAC's global perspective and show how it supports the Pan-African and ICAN programs, and to demonstrate that with our combined efforts, the accountancy profession has bold thinking and solutions to answer some of the most challenging issues of our time. First, a little about IFAC's global strategy. Around the world, there is widely identified trust crisis. Broadly, citizens have lost faith in their governing institutions. That's why Build Trust, Inspire Confidence is the title of IFAC's strategic plan for 2019 to 2020. And that's what IFAC, our member organisations and their member bodies and their members do every day. The vision for IFAC is that global accountancy profession is essential for strong, sustainable organisations, financial markets and economies. We aim to achieve this through three key strategic objectives. The first, to contribute to and promote the development, adoption and implementation of high-quality international standards. Secondly, to prepare a future-ready profession. And finally, speak out, be the global voice for the profession. Why do we focus on global standards? Because it serves the public interest when high-quality audit and assurance, ethics, education and public sector accounting standards are adopted globally. People often ask me, why did I become involved in IFAC? And the truth is that I was in mergers and acquisitions for many years in Australia, and as we looked to invest globally, I often was presented with the question, what set of accounts do you want? I found this quite unusual. I said, what are my choices? They said, well, you can have the management accounts, the statutory accounts, the tax accounts. And I looked and I said, can I have the family accounts? And they said, no. So that's why. Because I fundamentally believe with high quality standards that the flow of capital will go to where it's needed most. The governance of that, the approval of that will get to people far more quickly. And I hope that many other people have the opportunity to work for a wonderful organisation like I do. Why focus on a future-ready profession? Because disruptive technology-driven change is underway. To building trust and inspire confidence, current and future accountants must have the right mix of skills and competencies and demonstrate the highest standards of ethical conduct. And in the bank that I work for, I see this every day. We just implemented 8 lots of robotics. And I did not want there to be any changes in the amount of full-time employment that we had, full-time employees. Rather, I saw it as an opportunity for accountants to embrace technology and make their lives better. And the morale of our finance team has gone up as the more mundane compliance side of their job has been removed, and they can spend time doing what accountants do best, and advising and being the trusted advisor. And finally, why focus on speaking out? Because professional accountants are the defenders of public interest. In a low trust environment, the public must know how that accountancy profession is on their side. And here in Nigeria, ICAN is an example of what that means in practice. I hope you have all read the lead paper for this session. Here's a quote from it. The Nigerian nation is richly endowed with human and natural resources which have not been optimally leveraged to achieve sustainable development. Yes, the lead paper correctly identifies sustainability as a vital issue. It's the issue of our generation. For all who follow us, and accountants have a positive contribution to make. At the global level, ICAN is supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and we specifically identified 8 goals as being particularly suited to the profession's skills and work. These include quality education, gender equality, peace, justice and strong institutions, and decent work. Technology will help with that. We should not fear that. We should embrace it. We should own it. And ethics will be a fundamental contribution to where robotics and where artificial intelligence and where technology goes in the future. And ethics underpins our very profession. We have the skills to make this happen. The lead paper identifies Nigeria's human and environmental wealth. Along with the 4 other forms of capital, IFAC shares your belief that they must be accounted for. This is why IFAC supports the work of the International Integrated Reporting Council. Integrated reporting is a bold, innovative response to a fragmented, complex and largely compliance-driven global financial reporting system. In our G20 call to action, we'll explicitly call for the adoption of the International Integrated Reporting Framework. Doing so will help improve our corporate decision-making towards measures and thinking needed to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. At the regional level, I was privileged to attend last year's African Congress of Accountants in Uganda. Integrated thinking was high on the list of priorities and remains a key strategic objective of the Pan-African Federation of Accountants, or PAFA. While there, I also attended the PAFA General Assembly. PAFA's strategic plan, Building a Bridge to a Brighter Africa, remains both ambitious and supportive of the continent's accountants. And PAFA's Integrated Reporting Committee provides strategic direction to support the growth of integrated thinking and reporting right across your beautiful continent. Nationally, ICAN's role in preparing accountant support to support the Sustainable Development Goals has been outstanding and consistent. ICAN is no stranger to the long-term solutions that are needed to solve the SDG challenge. IFAC stands with ICAN in its advocacy for good governance, accountability and sustainability. I also commend ICAN for its practical training programs. I've reviewed these and I saw that there was a 2-day course on corporate reporting and sustainable development goals coming up. It starts on the 31st of October and ends on the 1st of November, which will mean that you have just enough time to get on the plane to come to Sydney for the World Congress of Accountants. And I look forward to welcoming you there. Seriously, I know hundreds of Nigerian accountants are coming to my hometown for this spectacular event, and we can't wait for your arrival. For those of you who do, sustainability is a key World Congress theme. It matters to the entire global family. And for those of you who can't, the World Congress will keep you posted on all events, and many are being live streamed. So please take that opportunity to see what's happening. Another quote from your lead paper. The commonwealth of the country has been pillaged by a few, thereby creating a sense of economic insecurity for the average Nigerian. Fraud and corruption is a global issue, and technology is making it faster and harder to track. At the global level, across several fronts, IFAC supports your fight. At the OECD and B20, the advisory arm of the G20 nations, IFAC has been advising global leaders that accountants are ready and willing to use their skills to fight fraud and corruption. But we also champion a view that this fight, we can't win it alone. We have been fighting and we need to work with others to share our passion for transparency, accountability and good governance. Last year, IFAC launched a study that confirms the profession's major positive role in reducing corruption. It was conducted independently by the Centre for Economics and Business Research. The study revealed that a higher percentage of accountants in the workforce strongly correlates with better outcomes in the Transparency International Global Corruption Perception Index. Crucially, the study showed that our role was enhanced when we work within effective national governance architectures in partnership with good government and a strong public sector. Excuse me. The study confirmed that accountants' professional ethics, education and oversight are a key to this success. But meaningful progress in this age-old fight will require three things. One, continued strong cross-sector collaboration. Secondly, a reinvigorated international interest in public financial management. And finally, greater adoption of the high-quality international standards on financial reporting, auditing and ethics. To reinforce the message of this cross-sector collaboration, this year IFAC cemented its professional friendship and engagement with the International Bar Association. And they were with us in Argentina when I presented our findings at the B20 forum, and it was extremely powerful to have both the lawyers and the accountants there together in one voice. And we also committed to working with each other to explore other practical measures to assist the fight and defend the public interest. Of course, at the national level, ICAN's partnership with the Nigerian Bar Association is an excellent move. And working together with lawyers to fight corruption and promote integrity in public institutions and business is an active way to defend the public interest. It's clear that intentional measures, political will and diligence by a variety of actors is also required if we are to achieve sound public financial management. IFAC strongly supports the adoption and implementation of accrual-based international public sector accounting standards. It's key to transforming the global public sector transparency and accountability. Delving down to the regional level, I want to highlight PAFA's commitment to better fight for public financial management and to fight corruption. Last year, Dixon Nkube, PAFA's CEO, wrote an outstanding article for IFAC's Global Knowledge Gateway. It was titled, When Corruption Becomes a Way of Life and What to Do About It. He wrote, African society is drowning in have-all, possess-all mentality that has become an endless orgy of spend and gain. Position and power have become keys to accessing resources meant for the general good and converting them for private good. We will be forgiven for concluding that the scrambles we see for power on our continent are no longer driven by desire to serve, but by waiting turns to loot. We need to simplify the message about corruption so that every citizen, regardless of their level of education, can understand it and its negative impact on their own lives. Corruption must be elevated to the level of criminality that it is, a crime against humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an African accountant speaking to truth, power in the public interest. And please don't think that I'm an Australian coming to Africa to tell you about your country. I could have lifted those very words and applied it to my own, and to many other countries around the world. Dixon's words are very important for all of us as global accountants to reflect on what's happening in our own communities. At the global level, another IFAC initiative to support the worldwide profession is its partnership with the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy. Together, we are developing the International Public Sector Financial Accountability Index. The index will provide a comprehensive global picture of financial reporting and budgeting frameworks used by governments. We believe the index will help assess the current and future state of public finances and spark further conversation on public financial management efforts. Here in Nigeria, ICAN is once again showing the way in the creation of its own accountability index. And I've met some of the key players here today involved in that, and I commend the work that's been done. Federal, state and local governments are going to be held to account for the quality of their financial reporting practices. ICAN will release rankings that will show which organisations are performing the best, and also those that are not performing so well. Asked President Zakari, I could find no better way to do justice to this initiative than to quote your words at the launch of this program. We are not presenting the Accountability Index to government. We didn't do it for government. We did it for Nigeria. We are doing it for the public. I commend your work, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a great example of both speaking out in the public interest and acting intentionally to defend it with bold and innovative thinking. And here's another way of ICAN's dynamic thinking. Having already signed up the lawyers to help fraud and corruption, ICAN extended its support to the Police Academy to train young policemen and women on financial crimes investigations. I congratulate ICAN again for its foresight. The Forensic Accounting Research Centre is inspired thinking. Forensic accounting is important globally, and its importance is a growing one, as is the focus on financial crime. In my day job, artificial intelligence has revealed remarkable opportunities to increase my team's satisfaction. But technology also brings great risk, so we need to focus on that. Personal information theft can lead to significant value destruction, but worse is the impact of reputational loss, lower revenues because once loyal clients don't return, and another level, the catastrophic effect of ransomware attacks. These people now have their own call centres to take payment to unlock your company's service. There is no doubt that technology is going to enable our profession to scale new heights, but we must focus on it as well and to protect both our own data and that of our clients. Finally, I turn once again to the lead paper. As a people, our collective existence and the welfare of future generations are challenged. Professional accountants, by our public interest mandate, are eminently positioned to champion the birth of a new Nigeria. The Panama Papers released in 2016 illustrated the disastrous management of many state-owned enterprises. Opaque financial management systems, limited oversight and restricted auditing procedures were only part of the problem. This problem is cultural and is found in every country in the world. But the good news is that the global accountancy profession offers bold, innovative thinking and solutions. We are actively seeking and working with partners who share our values, admire our ethics and value our skills, and from whom we can also learn. The fight for a stronger, more transparent, sustainable global economy can be found in IFAC's strategy, build trust, inspire confidence, in the solutions provided by G20 calls to action, in our representations to the OECD, the B20 and other multilateral institutions, and at the World Congress of Accountants, which is held every 4 years. The fight for a stronger, more transparent and sustainable Africa can be found in Parker's strategy, building a bridge to a brighter Africa, in the experiences shared at the African Congress of Accountants held every 2 years, and in the words of its CEO, in order to promote integrity, defeat corruption, all of society needs to work together. And the fight for a stronger, more transparent, sustainable Nigeria can be found in your actions and deeds. Beyond its Accountability Index, Police Academy Partnership, and its support for education and training, this is an institute that launched a Whistleblowers Fund in 2015 to protect and compensate members who reported financial irregularities. encouraged the government to enact last year's Whistleblower Protection Act, adopted NOFAR last year, the International Ethics Board standard that mandates professional accountants report suspected non-compliance with laws and standards. It backs the stronger corporate governance standards and speaks out regularly on the need for better budget management. And best of all, ICAN does it all for a better Nigeria in the public interest. And this should make you proud to be an ICAN member and proud to be part of the profession that offers big thinking and bold solutions to answer the challenge. The rest of the world and IFAC has a lot to learn from ICAN. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm going to attempt to speak after the IFAC president, even though I know she's covered some of my points in her paper. But there seems to be some sort of convergence between the things I want to say from a local point of view, while she's been talking about from a global point of view. You know, one of the key challenges we have in Nigeria is that we know that we're endowed with resources. We know that we have not just physical resources, but we have tremendous human capital. And in my night job, which is overseeing KPMG in Africa, so my day job is actually in Nigeria, I transcend the continent, and I see that in fact, when it comes to human capital, that we are a leader in this space in Africa. And we're not using it to our advantage in our country. And I'll come back to that point later on. The next critical issue for me, of course, is that it's around our politics, governance, leadership, tussle for resources. All of these have fronted our nation's pace of social and economic development. 15, 20 years ago, the Economist wrote an article about the alignment between democracy and development, and was preaching that democracy would drive development in a much faster mode and environment. I was in Singapore 2 weeks ago for a Global Partners Conference, and that's a country that in 35 years has become one of the most wealthiest countries in the world today. From a country that was just full of marshlands and has absolutely no natural resources except for human capital. And yet they had their own kind of democracy. They had a Bolivarian prime minister for 30-something years, and his son is now prime minister, but the country runs absolutely, and the people of the country are very happy with what they've achieved. So the commonwealth of our country has been glitched by a few, thereby creating a sense of economic security for the average Nigerian. Because everybody is angry to exploit. All we want to do is exploit. We want to exploit the resources that we have. We don't want to regenerate. But however, ICAN is one institution that can sell for free, that has done an excellent job in its regenerating over the years. So, to carry out the corners is give the resources dry up. What is that collective security? Our government systems, as well as our political system of any nation, are key drivers of economic growth and development. They work hand in hand. However, our national government lacks collective responsibility and has adversely affected the rate of economic growth. We're a country where we need to grow double digits per annum. If you grow this economy at 10% per annum, in 6 years, compounded, you will double your GDP. Even if you grow at 6% per annum, in 10 years, compounded, you double your GDP. Indonesia is a population of 200 million people, or 50 million people, with an economy of $1 trillion. There's no reason why Nigeria, if we do what we need to do over the next 6 to 10 years, we can actually double our GDP and reduce poverty significantly. So what's our role as South Africa? What exactly should we aspire to do? To serve the private sector? And if we serve the private sector, who constitutes government? Who runs government? As you heard from the earlier speaker, the private sector cannot exist without the flourishing public sector. What have federal accountants contributed to economic, political, and social development of Nigeria? ICAN has been part of the Nigerian society for more than 50 years. Today, in the Nigerian cabinet, I'm not saying it's the best cabinet per se, just as an example, there are 7 senior lawyers in that cabinet. there's no legal issue that the country will discuss at cabinet meeting that lawyers will contribute to. Where is ICAN? How have we contributed not only to the federal government, but also to state government and local governments? And what have we done to contribute to economic growth in this country? What public value should accountants, the economic profession deliver in securing our shared future? Now, there's a survey that was done a few years ago. It's quite dated, 2011. It was done by the International Survey by ACCA among CFOs and finance directors or equivalent across 20 countries on their views on what public value should be delivered by the accounting profession and how it could be enhanced. There are almost 100 participants. Interestingly, there are 300 participants from Africa who actually participated in this survey. 30% of the respondents rated the accounting profession as number 2 to the medical profession. The medical profession has much more significant public value than the accounting profession. But there are 5 factors which we identified as the corner for the global accounting profession to contribute to public value. The first one is ethical conduct. The second one is openness and transparency. The third is social and economic development. The fourth is financial regulations. And the last is governance. And I'll touch on those 5 topics very quickly. Ethical conduct, first of all. As accountants, what do we need to do? We need to act diligently and in accordance with applicable technical and professional standards when providing professional services. We need to be independent in mind, not allowing professional, political, or business judgment to be overridden by bias, conflict of interest, and undue influence. On paper, easy to say. In reality, very, very difficult. Whether you're an accountant in the profession or you're an accountant in industry, whether you're a CFO or a finance director. If you're working in a company where governance is not top class, and the board decides to do something else for the business of that company, and you're the finance director, and you say no, what happens to you? You may lose your job. So, are you willing to compromise? Or are you willing to say, sorry, because of my profession, I stand on it, and I will not do what you want me to do, and if you do want me to do what I'll do, I'll report it to the authorities. How many accountants in this room can say they can do that? In our profession, clients put us under pressure to say, this is what I want to produce as my profits, this is what I want to do in my accounts. You must be ready to walk away from that client and say, client, sorry, it's against my profession, I won't do it. But the reality is, how many accountants today can do that? Because that client is the key client of yours, pays fees, usually pays salaries. Secondly, social and economic development. ICAN has an essential role to play in the organization of consistent global professional and ethical standards, in promoting good governance and supporting economic development in the country. Again, look around us in our environment. We have a philosophy in my firm that good corporate governance means that can the board hire the CEO? Will they find the CEO not to have done what she should have done? And any company where we believe the board cannot fire the CEO, and what happened in Nigeria, we will not work for that company. I remember very well when the previous Senator governor decided to take over some banks, about 9 banks. And if you go back and look closely at those 9 banks that are taken over, most of them fail that question. Their boss could not fire the CEO. How many more do we have today? Not just in banking, but across corporate Nigeria. Financial regulations. We need a higher level of advocacy in financial prudence, disclosure, and accountability stewardship. People value for money, efficient and effective resource utilization, and how we actually represent the activity of the business. When I started my career 36 years ago, you produced an annual report of a public company. It wasn't more than 30 or 40 pages. Today, annual reports of public companies are 300, 400 pages. And yet, the shareholders understand those annual reports. We give them so much information, and yet, what happens? When they get to AGMs, they complain they haven't seen X, Y, Z, or they don't understand why there's no dividend. The third point is openness and transparency. We need to adopt corporate transparency to shareholders of institutions regarding matters that affect their interests as a basic ingredient of the image of our profession in Nigeria. So, as accountants, we must do to stand up in the corporate environment. It is feel that things are not being done in the interest of shareholders, we must be able to say so. And finally, governance. I can examine its role in corporate governance and the sense to which financial reporting serves the needs of corporate governance for the benefit of a wide range of stakeholders and the benefit of society in general. And you'll be very surprised that even on the board level, there are many board members who don't understand financial reporting, who don't understand the link between financial reporting and corporate governance. I have gone to IOD to lecture. I just wrote a forward on the book written by the Society for Corporate Governance. And the amount of financial illiteracy on corporate boards is scary. Don't even talk about public sector. Because private sector, I can talk about, but public sector, there's probably very little knowledge of financial reporting in public sector, if anything at all. So that accountant by public interest candidate, anything was going to champion a faster rate of growth for the economy, and in 3 dimensions. First of all, service in public office. We need to provide relevant skills and training to each tier of government to execute the agenda. We also need to encourage qualified accountants to actually go into public service, to serve our country. I have a partner of mine who is in the cabinet in Lagos State, for example. We have colleagues who are governors of a number of states in the country. We don't have enough of us who are in public service. We need to hold public officers accountable. We need to, this way, we can assist government in developing various initiatives that enable transparency and accountability of their roles. For example, federal and state governments, we should hold them accountable to producing the budget before 31 December. Since 1999, there's only been 2 instances where the federal government budget has been passed before 31 December. Read, debated in the National Assembly, and passed by the National Assembly, and signed by the President before 31 December. Only 2 occasions. In how many years now? In 19 years. I don't even know what it is in state governments. We need to have regular feedback by our federal government in terms of, how is the budget performing against actual? What are they doing with the money that they're collecting from us? Either as tax money or other money. We also need to prove government to spend a high proportion of their spending on capital expenditure. Because the only way you can grow an economy is to invest in fiscal formation. The way we are going, the fact that we're spending probably 20% on current expenditure, and there are significant delays in procurement processes for capital expenditure, unfortunately, the economy is going into a vast decline. Even if we are growing at 1 or 2% per annum and population is growing at 2.5%, we have negative economic growth. And if we continue at that rate, our economy is going to be shrinking over the next few years. We need to build sustainable institutions. ICAN needs to continue to review the budget process for much more effectiveness and much more relevance to state and federal government standards and needs of the people. Think about it. People sitting in Abuja and come to the budget for health or education. And that budget has no bearing at all with the needs of people in my local government, for example. ICAN should work with the ICAN-ngr to construct the vision of ISAs for federal state and local governments. ICAN should support capacity building on the role of federal accountants in 3 tiers of government. In other words, what should the federal accountant be doing in government? What's the role that we should play in government? How can we enhance financial openness and transparency while in government? It's not just for us to go to government and say these are the simple procedures, but we should go to government and say, let's improve on these procedures. Let's make them much more transparent and much more open. So how prepared is ICAN for the future of the government of Nigeria? How do we bridge human capital gaps of today to ensure we have the skills and competencies required for the future? We are in the 4th industrial revolution. Are we producing internal companies that can operate in the 4th industrial revolution? How do we ensure an innovation sector plan that is futuristic and takes into account the requirements of governance, economic development, science and technology? I have a quote here from the world president, Kim. He says human capital is about 65% of wealth in the high-income countries and only 40% in low-income countries. Low-income countries need to overcome this, and there is a sense of urgency, not only because we are facing several current human capital crises, also because of acceleration technology. We require countries to urgently invest in their people if they hope to compete in the economy of the future. And let me tell you one drawback about that point in Nigeria. If we don't invest in human capital so that we can be much more competitive and we make the economy grow fast enough for those skills to be relevant, we're going to be producing human capital for other countries. I understand, for example, today, average of 15 qualified doctors leave Nigeria, either to UK or Canada, every week. Every week, they emigrate. There are some countries, for example, that make their borders very open to professionals. For example, I have probably 10 or 12 qualified accountants that are trained here in Lagos who work in China Islands in the UK. All they do is go online, apply, do a Skype interview, they get their work permit organized by the employer, get an ANC debt, and they left the country. So the more we do this human capital development, without allowing the human capital to be useful to our economy, we produce talent for other countries. So the world has transitioned to the fourth industrial revolution, and believe it, right from the time of mechanization, steam and propeller power, to mass production of electricity, to electronic and systems automation, we now have scattered physical systems. And we're all using it every day, all of us. Mobile phone is even 3.0. Going online to buy air tickets, going online to Jumia or to buy something, or even for Amazon, there's so many back office systems today that are done by AI and not human beings. And we all use them today. You're using your credit card or debit card for transactions. So it's here today, and it's going to be on the increase. So you better believe it. So addressing market development gaps for the economic profession, therefore requires understanding of 3 skill areas. Skills required today, given the structure of the Nigerian economy. Skills required for the future, given by drivers of change and mega trends. And professional skills required to reverse the high level of poverty in our country. In conclusion, to secure our shared future cannot but be a collective responsibility of all of us in this room, and many of us who are outside this room. As far as accountants, we must build trust in society and governance. We must discredit unethical societies and deliberately restore the ecosystem to enable us to achieve the UN's goal of having a sustainable development that takes care of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Many of us in this room, our forefathers and parents sacrificed for us to get the education we have and to give us the exposure we have. We have a responsibility to do so for generations to come. Thank you very much.
So you will agree with me that we've had a lot of food for thought, and I would like you to give a hand of applause to our presenter. And to me, but later it's good job. And summarize. So I have time for 2 questions.
Good morning, sir, Chairman. All protocols duly observed. My name is Kuti Oluwarotimi Akinriola, S18447. My question this morning is to ask whether Nigeria is changed. Why? We said that accountants are best suited to help in securing our shared future. When you look at our political space today, or in the past few years, we have been privileged to have members of this highly referred profession who find important posts, either as the accountant of Federation, either as head of service of the Federation, either as governors, either as ministers. But after you look back and see that their performance or the legacy left behind is nothing to write home about.
Question.
So my question is, how can we, as chartered accountants, help those who are privileged to be in the public space to perform better than other professions that we have identified, because other professions have failed us. And chartered accountants are equally. Thank you.
I'd like to start on logistics protocol. My name is Bukola Akimoladun, FCA membership number 5947. With the advent of artificial intelligence, which the ICAN president makes mention of during her speech, I'd like to know what efforts both ICAN and various professional accounting bodies are making to ensure that there is convergence between our profession and the IT world, so that we will ensure that our profession does not go into recession. We need to be capacity. What efforts are we making to ensure that capacity is not just built, but it's also developed? Thank you.
Last question. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Let me add on all existing protocol. My name is Mike Aibe. My number is 15545. The recent research actually shows that our profession is one of the threatened profession in the next 5 to 10 years. So my question is this: how do we bridge the gap between our reality now and the expectation of the future? We talked about the future, and I want to make reference to Mr. Kule's presentation. I was expecting an aspect of technology. How do we align, how do we harness the opportunity that technology is bringing to our profession, bearing in mind that manual way of doing things is out of place, and a lot of expectation is placed on both the accountant and the auditor and the various segments of our profession. Thank you.
Well, good morning again, everyone. I'm happy to take questions 2 and 3. As this is my first time to Nigeria, so I can't tell you how it's changed for question 1, so I'll let my peers do that. But in relation to that excellent question and the question on technology, I asked the graduate class that works with me how many of their grandparents or parents had said, don't go into the profession of accounting because robots will take your space. 100% put up their hands. And I disagree. And I guess one of the proudest things of my ICAN presidency has been to establish the Technology Advisory Group, where I handpick people from all over the world, including Tanzania, from one of the CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, and all over the world. ICAW has been a key part of this, ACCA, Canada, I've represented Australia. And we broke it down into 5 things. And I think these are the new A, B, C, D, E. And we figured that this is where accountants can really play. A for artificial intelligence with a subset of robotics. B for blockchain. C for cybersecurity. And C also as an underlying part is communication. Because it's the communication to our clients, to our customers, to our businesses that will continue to set accountants apart. Part D is data and data analytics, and the E is for ethics. And this is crucial. As I said to you earlier, put in 8 lots of robotics to change the lives of some of the accountants. Some of the people in my team had to come in at 8 o'clock in the morning and press a button and go away for 2 hours and then come back and could do their job while things were processed. The robot does that now. Those people leave 2 hours earlier to get home to their families, they're much happier. So robots aren't going to take their place. It's about how to work smarter with technology. And we believe those 5 things we are trying to get out to all our member bodies, to educate all the 3 million accountants around the world, to assist The big four accounting firms have all worked very hard and would love for the technology to be all up to date. I can tell you in my bank there's some technology that's older than me. It's true. And therefore a lot of things will be done manually. So we've sort of got a two-speed economy that we need to look at in regards to technology. But IFAC is passionate about this, and if you have a look on the Gateway IFAC website and have a look at some of the great conversations we've had with leaders around the world on these topics, from IBM, from the Microsoft, from the Oracles, please have a look at that, and I think that will really give you an understanding. But I think accountants can lead in that space and be extremely helpful, and I hope those tools are helpful to you.
Very practical in terms of the answer to some of your questions. First one was, how do we help our colleagues who go to the public space? In my firm, we've had a number of our colleagues who decide to go to the public space, either directly from my firm or later on, many years later, in other career positions. I have two cases now, one in the state government, where one of my partners is a commissioner, and we seconded one of our managers to work with him full-time for the 3-4 years he's there as a commissioner. Because apart from the fact that he has to learn the public sector's way of doing things, he also needed somebody who had a lot more higher level of aptitude and skill level to be able to analyze some of the difficult issues he's facing in his role as a commissioner. We also have a colleague who's a lawyer of the firm, who's a minister today, and he's not in finance, because one of the key ministries that drive the local economy. I seconded a director full-time for 4 years, working with that minister. I seconded the manager, what they call it, Officer PEDEC, which is doing business in Nigeria Index team. I have a manager there seconded now 2 years. Some of these roles we bear the cost of those individuals. Because that's the only way that we believe those people, our ex-colleagues can be successful. If we had much more resources, we would even do more than that. But that's the barest minimum that we can do at this point in time. Because there are people who did well in our firm, and we believe that we support them and encourage them in their goals. The other thing also is that when our colleagues go into government, whether it's into the legislature or the executive, many of them don't know what to expect. They haven't been there before. Some of us have had the luxury of working even for legislature or working for executive. And we've seen the inside of how those things operate. And we can even give them ideas as to what to do to improve. I'll give one example. So a friend of mine who is an ex-banker was made a PAMSEC in one of these key ministries. Very large ministry. And when he resumed the PAMSEC, they gave him the organogram for the ministry. But we had done lots of work in that ministry over the years, almost 100-page documents describing the ministry and the organograms. And he said to me, Sergeant Wood, the organogram they gave to me didn't have all the functions you gave to me in your own document. Which means that they were hiding some functions from me as a concept. I said, they will now, because you don't know this system. You'll expect you to pick it up later. So, it's a very difficult task when you go into the public space, and it doesn't mean you will succeed. But if you go there with the mindset that you want to focus on succeed, you will succeed. Because the easiest thing they do there is they know how to distract you. You must go there with a plan, go there with an agenda, and make sure that every single day you are focused on your agenda. If not, you get distracted. So, I think the question on the AI was addressed by the ICAN president. The last point about how to bridge the gap between today and tomorrow. Again, let me be very practical here. One of the things we decided to do a couple of months ago, and we are still in the process of doing so, is that we decided as a firm to approach, small and medium-sized practices in Nigeria. So long as that firm doesn't have any international affiliation, we're running a program where we're asking, owners of small firms to second 1 or 2 of their staff to my firm, KPMG, for 1 year. Okay? We will train them at no cost to the firms. We pay their salary for that 1 year, so that they are off your payroll for that 1 year. Okay? And we will give them all the exposure they will get to work in an IT-driven environment. for 1 year. We work on our clients. We won't put them in the office, we take them to clients. We work on our clients, use our tools, learn our tools, get trained for 1 year, full salary. Okay? One thing we will not do, we will not poach any of them. We will not employ any of them after that 1 year. We expect all of them to look up through their firms that's sponsoring them to come to us. Okay? It's not automatic because we need this kind of candidates. We want to have a level playing field. We're going to have screen the candidates. Some will reject, some will accept. Okay? So if you don't meet minimum standards, we'll accept them. Once we meet that standard, we take them for a year. Now, once they go out to those small firms, medium-sized firms, our expectation is that they will go back with better skills, better knowledge, better experience, and inform the student partner that you have to invest. You have to invest. So, when we talk about the difference between today and the future, one of the big differences about the future is investment. Invest in human capital, invest in IT systems, invest in things you need to improve the service delivery to your clients. We shall not put any of them at all. We have up to our 80 spaces. We can employ up to 80 people for the next 12 months. So if you don't know about the program yet, you can contact me through ICAN, you have my email address, and we'll screen the candidates for any of the firms that are here. So long as your firm has no international affiliation. If you do, we'll expect that the international affiliation should give you what you're looking for. If they're not giving you what you're looking for, then it's on paper affiliation. Okay? Now, but that's the truth. So if you reach today and the future, you have to invest very heavily in people. And to invest in people as well, you must train them, you must expose them, and do so. We have another scheme, what we are doing now with one of the universities, Babcock University. We take graduates from Babcock University into our firm for 12 months. Those who are almost qualified, who did accounting degree, who almost finished the ACC or ICAN, or ICAN for us is our own preference. And for 1 year, they go through just taking ICAN lectures and ICAN exams. Don't do any work at all. We pay them salary. End of 12 months, they will qualify. If they are qualified, they then start working on clients. So we're doing different things now in this way, because all of us have a collective responsibility to be able to deliver the future we want us in this country. We can't wait to go for politicians to do it. Thank you.
There was a novelist who said that different races, different tribes, they have had separate paths, but that the area of separate destinies has run its course. So we have a shared future, economic, political, and even in terms of development. But this future cannot be taken for granted. It has to be secured. And I think the summary of the presentation today is that we have to do it together. Thank you very much for listening.